What's up, gang? Shout out to everybody here. What a crappy loss today. I mean, when a winnable series, they lost the series against the Nationals, and what was a once a trustworthy member of the bullpen has lost the ability to be trusted by his team and his. And I know the majority of the fan base too. That's Tommy Kahnle came in again. He was fire early in the season for most of the season, and then the last month or so, he's just started giving up clutch hits, clutch home runs, and he's lost the ability to be, I guess, trusted by the brass. But they keep throwing him out there, so we'll see if that changes. But um, you know, he's coughed up a couple leads and a couple ties and a couple games for the Yankees. So, and it's frustrating, and you can tell that he's very frustrated. He heard his fair share of boos today, probably the loudest he's heard here. So, which sucks, but it just goes to show you that if I'm the Yankees, I'm investing a lot in starting pitching and relief this offseason. No doubt about it. And you never know. Like Shohei Ohtani now has a torn UCL. So, he's very likely going to have to get his second Tommy John. His days of an elite two-way player might be over. And since he doesn't play a position, generally just plays DH, his options might be limited. So, but it just goes to show you, it can happen to anybody. It's happening to Tommy Kahnle right now. I'm not saying he's Shohei Ohtani. He's not. But, he was a trustworthy member here of this bullpen. And now that's out for the wayside right now, at least in my opinion. So I want to know what you think. Lower the comments. Let me know. All right. Shout out to Aiden. Shout out to Lorenzo. Shout out to Billy. Yeah. Shout out to the chat. NFE's in the house. What is good? Michael Jimenez is in the building. Joel, my consigliere's here. Not bad, Joel. Not bad. Not bad. A little bit, a little better each day. Got to rebuild the strength in the legs and the hips and stuff like that. But aside from that, I'm okay. I just have to be smarter. I have to be patient about it. And patience is not one of my strong suits. So, last thing I want to do is push it too much and then have a setback of some kind. It's the last thing I want to do, right? Mike Pellegrino, shout out, my man. Robert Johnson, Yeah, Holmes hasn't had as many, blips, excuse me, as Kahnle's had, but Kahnle's been very vulnerable the last, I don't know, maybe 2 months, But, this, Holmes has had some spots too. He's had some spots too. Leave the gun, take the cannoli. That's right, Billy. That's right, Clemenza. 4 trains in the building. What's up, my man Mazza? What is good? What is good? Yeah, headquarters, baby. We're at the HQ. Back in the HQ, NFE, man. This is how we do it. This is how we do it, baby. And gotta stay at the HQ now. Gotta stay at the HQ. So, gotta make a couple of slight modifications to the intake of stuff, but food and so on, but not that drastic. So, and it doesn't have to be drastic, I would say. Bray Wyatt passed away? What the hell? Bray Wyatt passed away? What the hell? Terry Funk yesterday, now Bray Wyatt? Jeez Louise. Man, rest in peace to Wyatts too, Mr. Rest in peace, Bray Wyatt, man. God. Yeah. His sequence has almost become predictable. Like change up, then fastball. Change up, fastball. It's just like he's got a pretty potent fastball, but I think you're right. They can sit on the change up. It's predictable, and he's going to throw it. It's just don't know when. It's just, and they nail it. They nail it. It's tougher to nail his high heat. That's for sure. Mark Watson, appreciate you, man. Thank you, man. Good to be home. He had a heart attack? Shit. At 36, my heavens. Freaking terrible. He's having health issues prior. Goodness gracious. The big boy, too. Yeah. I agree with Joel. I think hitters are sitting on this changeup. They're just waiting for it, and they know it's going to come. So, did I see the Yankees schedule for 20? I didn't really take a deep look at it yet, Lorenzo. Not yet. But do they play Houston to open the season somewhere overseas? If I'm not mistaken, I have to go back and look at that. But I think they are. Well, fastball, yeah, it can lose much potency if it doesn't have the movement too. If it doesn't have the movement, then it definitely can lose its potency. And you got to be able to locate the fastball. And you got to have some movement there. So, yes, see, yes, sir, Smith. Back home, baby, back home. About Braves, jeez Louise. Yeah, I'm sure more stuff will come out. That's awful, man. That's just really awful. Like Harry Funk, like was much older, but like Bray Wyatt, damn. That sucks. Yeah, rest in peace. Yankees should re-sign him. I'm telling you, he had 3 strikeouts again today. He was good following King, who the Yankees are quietly stretching out his pitches and innings. So Kane and Middleton he looks like a worthy piece here. If they can get him on a couple-year deal, maybe in an affordable contract, then sure. I think Kahnle may have signed if I remember correctly, it might be 2 years. And if he maybe, I have to go back and look. It might be 2 years. What is Mac Blake going to do about Holmes and Kane? He's got to make some adjustments. That's for damn sure. He's here. They're both here, so he's got to work with them. He's got to make some tinkering. He's got to tinker with their repertoire. Yankee schedule coming up. Yeah, well, they got 3 against Tampa. Then they've got 4 against Detroit and then 3 more against Houston. That's the next 10 games all on the road. So that's a tough one. That's a tough schedule. It really is. But I appreciate that, Pleasure Wells. Thank you. But let me know what you think about that. How would you structure this bullpen in 2024? Closer in the offseason. I'm with you there, NFA. I think so too. Right, Dev? Right, Dev? What's up, Dev? And I go hard after guys like Hader. I go hard after some of these other power arms. Can't hurt. Yeah, Kahnle's got fire. He's got emotion. But he's got to get his shit together when he's on the mound. And he's been falling apart too often recently. It was a loss. Yes, it was. It was nice to see Stan get 4 hits and a home run and Judge go yard again and Gleyber Torres go yard again. It's all great and all, but and they had 12 hits, but there was a couple of bad calls too, bad strike calls from the ump. So the bullpen is spent, Gary. Thank you, man. Thank you for the kind words, man. Appreciate it, man. Bullpen does look spent. We've said that too. Some of the starters have not done the bullpen any favors by making them work harder than they need to work. All right, Davey, what's up, man? Hater. This guy to look at. Yep. Damn, man. Fucking. Rest in peace, Bray Wyatt. Really, rest in peace, Bray Wyatt, man. Padres have second best odds signing. Yeah, they could. Are they going to DH him? And then keep in mind, too, if he happens to get another Tommy John surgery, and he does plan on being a two-way player, Tommy John, for the recovery time for Tommy John for pitchers is different than it is for hitters. Like Bryce Harper had Tommy John in the offseason, and he came back in like half the time, and he's now a productive hitter again. Tommy John for pitchers is different. It's a different recovery timetable, so they're gonna have to factor that in. Davey, taking it easy and gradually working my way back in. I saw Steven Strasburg retire today too. Yeah, smart move for him. Yeah, Lasagna I would keep. Hamilton I would keep. And if you can, thank you, Winter Tide Man, thank you. If you can get a hater, you can get like a I don't know, trade for a big time reliever. It's going to be interesting. See what the Yankees do, but they have to get somebody. They need somebody who's reliable in the late innings. Oh, yeah, I can't see. I mean, I still think it's gonna be the Dodgers or the Mariners getting Ohtani. I really do. No, I really, really, really do. No, and I think the Mariners have enough pitching so that if they wanted to just have Ohtani be a hitter, they could offset that. They could do that. So it's going to be really interesting to see if the next team that signs Ohtani, are they going to have him be a one-way player or a two-way player? That's the question right now, right? So I mean, it's one of the questions. Lou Trevino's got one more year. Efrost has like 4 more years, so we keep Efrost, no doubt about it. Trevino, he's got 1 more year until he's a free agent. So those are guys you hope come back healthy from Tommy John and help bring you some value. Hope Efrost gets that movement back on his pitches. He's got a lot of movement on his stuff. So I know a lot of folks want Bellinger too. So Bellinger, I think, is going to be a target CWE this offseason. I do. No. You know what I mean? Yeah, King, lasagna, and burrito. Yeah. I do think Peralta walks, and I do. I think Austin Wells comes up in probably September when the rosters expand finally. So, I mean, if somehow they can get Soto, I'd get Soto over Bellinger personally. But you know what I mean? I ask his wire fan. I don't know, Davey. I don't know. I mean, a lot of fans just think Ohtani's the answer to everything, and I don't see it personally. But like, I know he'll get big money. But like I said this too, the risk of him at 30 is a lot more risk associated with his age compared to somebody who's 24 like Juan Soto. It's just it's a different world, man. It really is a different world. Yeah, Pereira got his first hit. He got a nice double. Yeah, Peraza got a hit in 9 too. So, so we'll see. Like, they might have, they might be, relying on some of these Jose Melo. They might be relying on some of these young, affordable hitters to complement some of their big contracts, so that if they do happen to spend this offseason, it might be a couple of controllable like position players, but the majority of their money could be spent on starting pitching and bullpen at the major league level. So you know what I mean? I do think Ohtani's value has gone down. Yep. Just goes to show, it's not that easy to be an elite two-way guy. It really isn't. And again, I said this earlier, like he bats lefty, so when he swings and extends his arm, he's extending the right arm, which is his pitching arm. So you're getting more stress on his pitching arm than he needs to get. So just food for thought, but that does matter over time. Yeah, I mean, I doubt Ohtani gets over 500 now, but if somebody's willing to pay that money, he'll probably take that money. So we'll see what he gets. It's going to be interesting to see. I mean, he's getting a second opinion as to whether he needs Tommy John again, and then I think they'll reevaluate and go from there. So that's going to be the big one. The big one. But again, to me, Yankees need more than Ohtani anyway. So like, they need 2 starters. They need maybe a reliever or 2. They need multiple pieces. Really. Yeah. Well, the Japanese market is big on the East Coast and the West Coast, Davey, but he tends to. It looks like he prefers the West Coast. So That's why I keep saying Seattle. Seattle's my dark horse for him. He just fits there, you know. And yeah, I mean, Judge will need the DH in a couple years too, and then I do think Stanton, they'd be wise to at the very least entertain shopping him. I heard the Mets might shop Alonso too. I heard he's wearing out his wearing out his welcome in Queens. So crazy, but it's true. Yeah, I mean, it could be Pereira, Dominguez, Judge for next year. It could be. It could very well be. Can he handle it? Well, we'll see. We'll see. Wells possibly a catcher or backup first base or both, or they have some options. They have some versatility there. So you got Ben Rice, who's another catcher in the pipeline, who's been hitting like crazy. You got Tyler Hardman, another first baseman in the pipeline, has been hitting like crazy. So they have some young, dynamic bats. Yep, Jung Hoo Lee too, from South Korea. Another guy, Aiden, who would be draws a lot of comparisons to Ichiro. So if you get a Lee for left field, then you get a Pereira, Dominguez for center field, and you got a Judge, and you got then you have a different ball game. And this is all predicated upon whether they get Soto or not, or don't get Soto, right? Exactly, Joe. Soto, Snell, and Hader, that's a nice get. It would be a big get. A big get. All, well, with the exception of Soto, all free agents. Now, Seattle is a huge Japanese community, and part of the owners of the Seattle Mariners are from Japan. So it's crazy, but it's true. Spencer Jones is projected to be their number one prospect next year, Jose. So sounds like he is for real. No. Yeah, Dominguez just got bumped up to AAA a couple days ago. He got bumped up to AAA because Everson Pereira got bumped up to the majors, so they need to fill his spot. But we'll see how well he adapts. See how well he does that. Yeah, I mean it'll be tough for the Padres to get Ohtani if they haven't paid Soto yet. So yeah, and that alone is gonna be crazy. Like, what do they give Ohtani if they give Soto like whatever amount of money? And Soto's younger and he's healthy. Like, it's gonna be interesting to see. It's gonna be a very interesting conversation. But could you imagine you got Ohtani and Soto on the same team? Oh my God. I think some of the owners of the Seattle Mariners, I think, are the people who own Nintendo. Yeah, Quail. Yep. Yep. Yeah, Kahnle's got to make some adjustments, Nicholas. That's for damn sure. To the repertoire, he's got to make some serious adjustments. He really, really does. Bellinger for first. They're gonna have to move Rizzo. You've seen. They got to figure out what to do with Rizzo. They got another year for Rizzo. Overpay pitching? Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't either, Davey. I don't think they. I mean, depends on who they get, but I don't think they're gonna have to drastically overpay. But they've got to bring in some pitching. And like not expecting an ace, expecting a couple of reliable guys who can be there every 15 in a rotation. Yeah, I mean Japan has a pretty solid pitcher coming, Davey too. If he gets posted, I forgot his name, but he's another one. They could trade Pereira. They could trade Dominguez for a big time pitcher. I was like, they could keep Spencer Jones. Yeah, I mean, it's just they have options now, and it's good it's good for them to have. It really is. And again, sorry to hear, True Cruise Control. I hope you get better, brother. I hope you get better, man. Health is definitely wealth, man. Get better, man. Focus on healing up. Yeah, man, King. I mean, he said he wanted to try to be a starter, so there looks like they're stretching out his arm, so he can maybe give it a shot next year. Who would I sign as a solid pitcher in free agency? Maybe Aaron Nola from the Phillies. I would look at Blake Snell. I'd look at probably Julio Urias from the Dodgers, and and a couple of solid relievers too. It's their pitching free agent class is pretty deep, pretty deep. So the Yankees have options, which is good, which is good. So those are the guys I would go after. Look at Davey in free agency. Nestor, it looks like Nestor's probably done this season. Rizzo probably too. Maybe even Domingo Germán. I think Germán might be done for the season. Cruise control. It's because of what has happened and all that stuff. Yeah. Burns are, worthwhile guys to look into, but they're going to be really expensive to trade for, especially Burns. That's why I think Aaron Nola is probably a better bet than Snell, Quellenathlon. Crafty, right-handed pitcher who's used to a big market. He's used to the East Coast. Reliable. So if you can get him and that Japanese pitcher, or him and another pitcher, now we're in business. I think we're in business. Marcel, appreciate the super chat, man. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I've personally seen enough from Oswald Peraza to feel comfortable trading Torres. I think his long-term prognosis looks pretty good. He's an elite defender, and I think his bat will catch up to it. But I'm comfortable enough to trade Torres because I do think at some point Oswald Peraza will get to 15 to 20 home runs as well with elite defense. But David, reliable pitching is the key, man. I think Germán is also. I'm with you, Joel. Germán has probably seen his last days in the Yankees. I would agree. I would look for them to replace Sevy and Germán. Surprisingly, they have a decent amount of catchers in the pipeline, but I don't know how close they are or how far they are. I know they played Mike Trout one game and they put him back in a 10-day IL. It's ridiculous. Keeping Torres is fine. He's going to probably cost 9 figures to resign, but I would move Torres for pitching. For pitching. That's the only way I would move him. So, yeah, the Mets are retiring Strawberries and Gooden's numbers. That's right. The late Gary Carter. I think so. But they're jumping on the nostalgia train. Jumping on that nostalgia train. So, good for them. Those guys played a big part in the 86 World Series, and they were big members of the Mets machine for a while before they started to have problems. So, it'd be good for them to have a day. Good for them to have a day. Honor the straw, man. Honor the good one, right? So, honor the guys. I don't think Frankie Montas has any value right now. Stanton's probably has minimal value because his contract's so much. You'd have to eat a chunk of Stanton's contract to move him. Frankie Montas is going to be a free agent at the end of the season anyway. So I think they probably move on from him. Troy Snicker, for former Braves, Lorenzo. Former Braves manager, right, Lorenzo? Mm-hmm. Would he request it? I don't know. If he would request a trade to the Dodgers, I don't know. They don't get Ohtani. That's a good question. I don't know, Aiden. If he did, I'd trade him there. But if he did request a trade to the Dodgers, that would take a little bit of leverage away from the Dodgers in terms of what they can ask for or what they can offer back or whatever. Yeah, Julio Urias, a possible fit, former Dodgers. He's young. He's like 26, 27. He's one of the Dodgers aces, and he's a free agent at the end of the season. So he's another guy. He's lefty. Man, you get Urias and Aaron Nola. That'd be a nice nice offseason get from the Yankees. So But well, thankfully, Joel Montez is done at the end of the season, so they don't have to bring him back. Free agent at the end of the year, thankfully. So, um, but Stanton's got 4 more years left, so they're stuck with that guy until something happens. Until something happens. No. Mike Scioscia and Madden. I mean, if I had to choose between the two, probably Mike Scioscia, but probably. Oh, shitty skunk. Well, I know that's not yours. That's a very tacky nickname, Angelo. But I don't think I don't think he can replace him, but I don't think he will. He's going to cost a lot of money. Be like another expensive get here. So I think they'll probably go. They'll probably go. Probably with Peraza or somebody like that for third base. Fans keep blaming me. I know fans. I mean, this is all they do. They blame Cashman. Montez. Fans forget he didn't give much for him. No, he did not. He didn't know. He did not give much for either. No, and like fans will keep using the same old stuff, the same old recycled stuff to continue to bash Hal, to bash Cashman. It's just, and content creators are partly responsible for that because it's part of their constant content. They're still talking about what Hal said in June about they not understand why the Yankee fans are so pissed. And they're like, he's 9.5 getting dead. They weren't that way in June. It's a different situation. You keep using the same crappy argument. Like it's sad. So, but I mean, it is what it is. That's what they do. That's what they do. Always a pleasure, NFE. I'll wrap it up shortly too. I wanted to get your feedback on this, man. Fights are nice, man. You're going to be the consigliere tomorrow, NFE, man. Hopefully they match well. Hopefully it's a good fight, man. Let me know how it goes. ICAP plays third base pretty well. Yes, he does. Ryan McMahon is probably the only guy I would trade for from Colorado Rockies. Hits lefty. He's got like 4 years of control. He's relatively affordable. He's the guy I would consider trading for third base. And it wouldn't cost the farm. So, but yeah, it is a fact, Joel. That's right, man. He is right about that. IKF does play third base pretty well. No. Trevino and Higgy next year. Well, I don't know, Aiden. I'm not sure we'll see both. Honestly, I'm not sure we'll see both. We'll see. Yankees have about almost 75 million coming off the books. So, they got about 75 million coming off the books. I did a video on it a couple days ago, Jose. But I mean, it'd be wise for him to go hardcore. Like in the 2009 offseason. That offseason changed the whole dynamic of the freaking team. So, yeah, it depends on what they do, but it would be wise. It'd be wise. Milwaukee would want a haul for Corbin Burns. He's their ace, Davey. An absolute haul. Yeah, he's this Japanese pitcher that a lot of folks want, right? Is he getting posted? Is the question, Patrick. We don't know. He's free agent, but is he getting posted by his Japanese team? That's the key. Because the posting system is different. Like the Yankees have to pay his team the posting fee and then his contract. So there's 2 levels of payments that any team has to pay. So, but there's a couple of yeah, Amanaga and like there's a couple other ones too, Patrick. Japanese pitchers who are attractive targets, particularly for the Yankees. Higgy hit 3 homers. Yeah, I don't really care about how many home runs he hits personally. Like, there's a decent backup to Trevino there, so it is what it is. He does look like a better hitter. Maybe Sean Casey's made some adjustments with him. It's helping them square up on the ball, level up on the ball a little better. So, you know, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens in this road trip. We'll see how the Yankees do. Um, but I know a lot of fans don't trust them. I know. I know. That's a lot to give up for 1 year Burns, but it might cost that. It might cost that, Davey. I mean, Torres and Warren. If you can somehow get Corbin Burns, Torres and Warren, and maybe add another prospect that isn't Wells, and maybe that'd be a lot to give up for 1 year of Corbin Burns. personally, no, yeah. Hayes is probably going to cost about 20 million a year. Jose, I think he'll cost as much as Edwin Diaz from the Mets did. I think so. Beer, I mean, he'll have a shot at coming up in 24. I mean, he'll have a shot. So will Warren. I think both of them will have a shot at coming up next year. When, I don't know, but hmm. Yeah, he got a Gold Glove at third base. IKF. Yes, he did. He's a good player. He's a good pro, good teammate. So he got a lot of hate from people, but he quietly got a lot better this year and became a more reliable player. Uh, the Mets. I think they signed Scherzer and Verlander as free agents. They didn't trade for them. So, but I get what you're saying, Angelo. It's a little bit of a different situation trading him versus signing him in free agency. Uh, we'll see. Well, we'll see what the budget limits are, if there are any, Angelo. We'll see what they're going to be like. We're hearing there's a lot of these budget limits from people that aren't Hal. So let's wait until Hal sets the parameters. Like really, let's let Hal set the parameters. We'll see. You know what I mean? We'll see. I really, really curious to see what they do. I'm like honestly got curious. So it's. I think they have the ability to have a pretty good offseason. I do. I do. Um, can the Mets trade Ronnie Mauricio? They could. I don't know if they will. Aiden, I mean, that'd be an interesting trade. Aiden, that'd be an interesting trade. I mean, it really would. I wonder what the Mets would want for him. Yeah. Yeah. But if you can get one reliever this offseason, who would it be? Jock. Yeah, he's a decent one there, Aiden. I know his name's been floated around for a while. I think looks like he's more clutch in the National League West than just the National League. So we'll see. Well, exactly too, Joel. Yeah, it depends on how not making the playoffs affects Hal's pocketbook, his wallet. So they don't, that's a 50 to 100 million plus money that they expected to come in. That's not going to come in now because they didn't make the postseason. Extra money that these guys tend to rely on every single year. Oh, yeah, Jose. Teams always they ask more from the Yankees than they do from most other teams. So a lot of teams try to fleece the Yankees, but it comes with the territory. And I don't think we did understand, David. Like I put out a video today, like it looks like in this Cashman's press conference, they alluded like their reliance on their version of analytics has hamstrung Sabian and Manai's ability to do their thing, which is identifying and signings and drafting new and talent to help the team win. So it sounds like they're going to have a bigger role in 2024, which will be good. Sabian and I don't know what the hell the role is going to be, but I think we'll have more clarity on what they're going to do next year for the Yankees. And it was big of Cashman to acknowledge these things yesterday too. So I'll give him that. I'll give him credit for that. So well, like what the hell are you going to bring in Minai and Sabian tonight? Utilize them. These guys have a skill set, connections. Like use these guys. Use these guys. You know, old timers. They would be phenomenal. Rivera. Remember diving signings, Cashman's name. You expect from the guy that sleeps by the dumpsters. He's delivered 25 winning seasons, so I expect more, Angelo. I expect more than we've gotten this year from Cashman, that's for sure. That's for darn sure. Not like, or if they don't ditch analytics, utilize it better, please. Find a better analytics group that can help make this team more productive without sacrificing fundamental baseball skills. And still use Minaya and still use Sabian. Damn right. The rest of the LA's doing pretty decent, Aiden. Pretty decent. I mean, and they're all doing better than the Yankees, that's for sure. So you're going to show up in the old time? Yeah. I think so, Davey. I think so. Yeah, they got to get a lot of that energy, that passion, that fire. They got to get that, that feistiness back. So, Angela, 100%. Yeah, let it go down. It's one of Cashman's worst. It's also one of the A's worst, too. Nobody that Cashman traded away is really doing well. So they can call one of Cashman's worst all day. Pitching depth, yeah. I mean, he gave up a lot of pitching depth. But unfortunately, the prices were high. He had no choice. He had to give up a lot. So they missed out on Luis Castillo when the asking price was astronomical. Fans were begging him to get Montez, and he got Montez. So I think it's important to acknowledge that too. And like so many fans and content creators don't want to take any ownership for that. Like, oh yeah, I asked them to get it, so to get him. They just like to blame Cashman for the trade not working instead of taking any ownership for it. But whatever. And I mean, you know what I mean, Mr. Brian? I get what you're saying too, man. I get what you're saying. Yeah, clean. I mean, they have a lot of house cleaning to do, Angelo. 2 table setters at the top of the line. I think one at the top and like one at the second, like 1 through 7, 8, 9 will be a good idea for Cashman. Honestly. Yeah, I mean, I think they need to give the kids a chance, see what they have with them, Ward Lifer, and then build around them and Judge. Like, honestly, you get a reliable, controllable major leaguer here or there, and build just good building blocks around your young kids and Judge. So and Cole, and be smart, letting some of the kids come up here, let them develop, signing affordable role players too at the free agency level. So a combination of the two they have to have, I think, in my opinion. Yeah, everything on the menu is market price point. You damn right it is. Damn right it is. Yeah. But people begged him to get. They begged him to get Benintendi. They begged him to get Montez. They begged him to get a lot of guys, and he got them. And then all of a sudden, Cashman's the worst GM in the world. So it's like you can't win, honestly. No. Yeah, Luis Castillo cost them a ransom. I mean, they wanted 1, 2, 3, 4 from the Yankees for Castillo. I don't know if he's worth that much. Uh, yeah, Donaldson was. Yeah, I mean, he has moments, but I don't think he'll be back, Mr. Bryan. I don't think he'll be back. They'll pay him his buyout and move on. You know, and I think we've probably seen Donaldson's last game in the pinstripes. I think so. But yeah, but let me wrap this up, gang. Let me wrap this up. Thank you all for coming on. Appreciate the kind words. Appreciate the support. Appreciate the insights in the comments too. Your insights mean a lot. They're important. They matter, and it gives us a different, just a more in-depth look at what people are thinking out here. And again, I like the fact that you don't always agree. That you give your own insight as well, and all that stuff. It makes the channel better. Um, Makes the channel better. But yeah, peace and love to all of you. Thank you so much for coming on, and I'll see ya next time.